Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football. Best wildcard team for match day 6. Now, from the get go, I actually don't think playing your wildcard in match day 6 is the best approach. But some people will be new to the game. Some people will have their wildcard until now. And if your team is looking absolutely like terrible, and you have a lot of injuries, and you have a lot of players who are potentially going to be rested in match day 6, and you have like 7, 8 players who you're not sure about, then you're going to have to play a wildcard. If your team is looking good and you have like 12, 13 players even, and you have no need of making any radical changes. Is radical a word? Or let me just use rapid changes, whichever word fits there. I don't think you need to play a wildcard. You can just carry to the knockout stages. It might help you, especially if you triple up on a team or double up on a team, and then both of them get eliminated in the round of 16 or the quarterfinal. That wildcard can help you in the latter stages. But if your team is not looking good and you need to make like 5, 6 transfers, then you might as well play a wildcard right now, because many people will have those players and they'll have to take -4, -8. And if you have your wildcard, you're in a very good position. So usually for me, wildcard, usually in match day 3, when it's the same fixtures in match day 3 and 4, so you play it in match day 3, and then you have the same fixtures, same players with the same fixtures in match day 3 and 4, or you play it in match day 5 and then tackle match day 5 and 6, unless you get a lot of injuries in match day 1, you get a lot of suspensions. Then an emergency situation, you can play it. But if you're still going to play a wildcard, this is the team that I would go for. Let me get straight into it. As always, make sure to hit the like button. So here we go. In terms of the goalkeepers, I will go with Ramiro. Ramiro has been great for us. They have something to play for against Inter Milan. Both Inter Milan and Real Sociedad have something to play for. So I would go with Ramiro in goal at very cheap price. And if you add him from 4 million, then it's not going to cost you 4.1 million. So you'll probably have an extra 0.1 to use. And then I'd actually go with the FC Porto goalkeeper as well, another goalkeeper who has something to play for. I think both of them will play. That's Diogo Costa. I think that's a good balance for match day 6. Ramiro can get you save points at Inter Milan, and even Diogo Costa can get you save points against Shakhtar. If any of them keep a clean sheet, then well and good. So those are the goalkeepers. In terms of the defenders, very, very hard to pick, because there could be a lot of rotation for the defenders as well. So let me go to defenders. There is a couple that I think will definitely play, and then maybe a couple of risks here and there. Let's start with Di Lorenzo. I think Di Lorenzo will definitely play for Napoli. Napoli have still not yet qualified. They still need to they're still fighting for second. They only need a draw really to go through. So I would go with Di Lorenzo as the defender at 5.5 million. I think it's always very good going forward as well, getting assists and getting goals in the Champions League the last couple of seasons. I would also go with another team that has something to play for. That's Atletico Madrid, and I've gone for Molina. Molina has been absolutely incredible so far this season in the Champions League. I think he has like 3 assists. Let me just confirm that. I'm sure he's done incredibly well, especially going forward. 6 points, 5 points, 3 points, 6 points. Despite Atletico Madrid keeping only 1 clean sheet, he's managed to pick up 6 points, 5 points, 3 points, 6.6 points. He's only selected by 4%. And as you can see, this season he's picked up 3 assists, and he also earned a penalty. So basically 4 assists for Molina. He also kept 1 clean sheet and 14 ball recoveries. Not the best at ball recoveries, but if he can get you assists and get you penalty points and all that, well and good. If you can earn penalty and get fouled for penalties, that's well and good. So Molina is another one who I think will definitely play. And then my third defender, I'm going to go with Rico Lewis from Man City. I think he will also play, unless he's now been converted into a first team player, which I doubt. I do really like Rico Lewis, because he also plays in midfield for Man City. So he's a defender in the game, but he plays in midfield, so he can get you assists and goals. He was very unlucky not to get a goal against Leipzig. I was disgusted when I saw him that chance that he missed. He also should have gotten, I think, an assist for Haaland or something, but Haaland missed the chance. And then the next defender, another team that has something to play for, that is AC Milan. Now, in this particular position, I was trying to pick between 3 players: Theo Hernandez, Hakimi, and also Trippier. All those 3 teams are in the same group. All of them have something to play for. But I have gone with Theo Hernandez. AC Milan, the last 2 seasons, have been very good defensively in the Champions League. They usually find a way to keep a clean sheet. Already this season, they kept a clean sheet against Newcastle in the reverse fixture. Newcastle didn't really do anything. Maybe this time Newcastle will go for it, but with the injuries, maybe AC Milan survive and they get a 0-0. So I am going to go with Theo Hernandez, and he's another player who can obviously get attacking returns. For the next defender, the last defender, I've gone for an Inter Milan defender. They also have a lot of injuries. I've gone for Damian for now because the likes of Dumfries are injured and the likes of Bastoni are injured as well. So I'm going to go with Damian, but there's always a chance that he might not play. But for now, I'm going to stick with Damian in defense. So Di Lorenzo, Molina, Lewis, Theo Hernandez, and Damian. Let me know if there's any defenders that I've missed that you'd go for on a wildcard. Next up, let's go to the midfield. The first one I've gone for is Galatasaray. I think Galatasaray, that group has had a bunch of goals. Fixtures between Galatasaray and Copenhagen, Man United, Galatasaray, and Ziyech did incredibly well against Man United last time out, so I'm going to start him. They have to go for it against Copenhagen. Winner takes it all pretty much, so I'm going to go with Ziyech there. Next up, Napoli. As I said, they only need a draw, so maybe they don't really need to go all out for goals, but I'm going to go with Kvaratskhelia because I think he'll definitely start because they have something to play for. And then next up, another team that are fighting for top of the group, that's Inter Milan. They rested everyone last time, so I think this time Çalhanoğlu will start. And then the rest of the midfielders, I've gone for a couple that I'm expecting to come in, so they're not guaranteed to start, but maybe they could come in. And one of them is from Bayern Munich. I've gone for Gnabry. Now, if he had a Gnabry might not play, or his son is starting instead, or Musiala is somehow starting instead, then you can always go for those ones. But I'm going to go for Gnabry because he's not a regular. He just came back from an injury not long ago, so I think he could start this game. Another one who's going to be back in England. And then finally, a Man City midfielder. They're playing against Red Star, and they probably will rest the likes of Haaland. But for Man City, I am going to go for Grealish. I have thought about Nunes as well. He's injured in the app, but he is fit. He came on for Man City in the last game against Aston Villa. But Grealish, since he was suspended for that Aston Villa game, he could be fresh. He could start in the weekend and also in this fixture. So that is the midfield. I think it's well balanced with players who are definitely going to start and others who potentially will come in. And then forward players, I've gone for Morata. It's cheaper, so if you're playing a limitless, you can afford Griezmann. But I've gone for Morata. It's been incredible. Last few months, he's been scoring goals, getting involved for Atletico in Spain. So I've gone for Morata there. And then next to him, I've gone for Sevilla striker because I feel like Sevilla always find a way to go to the Europa League. They'll find a way, and I'll not be surprised if they nick a 2-1 win against Lens or something like that. So I am going to go with the Nesri. And then for the last differential, I've gone for an Arsenal attack. I think Nketiah will definitely start. It's a bit out there in terms of a pick because they've never really seen him in the Champions League or anything like that. But if it's an open game, is a 2-2 or 3-3, I think he could get on the score sheet because I think he'll definitely start in this one. So Morata and Nesri and Nketiah is also cheap, but I've left you guys other options. So if you don't go with this specific team, this team will have 2.6 million remaining in the bank. So if you go with this team that I've just talked about, you're going to have around 2.6 million in the bank. You can take out you can go for Grealish or you go for Nunes at Man City. You can also just change Gnabry to Sane if we hear that Sane is going to start. You can go for Rafa Silva instead of Nketiah. Benfica still have a chance to go to the Europa League, but they'll need a big win against Salzburg. I think something like 3-0. So they could go for it to the likes of Rafa Silva. And then if you don't want to Nesri, you can always go for Icardi, Galatasaray against Copenhagen. There's a lot of options. 2.6 million, you can change a few players if you feel like some of them are too much of a differential. So a lot of picks that you can go for. Not the best to use the wildcard in match day 6, but if you're in a tough position, you can always do that. Really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the like button. If you've never joined the league yet, the code the link is in the description, so make sure to change that. Make sure to check out the Limitless video as well, the team selection videos coming up as well, and see you on the deadline stream on Tuesday as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.